You're really useless. How many years have you been working for this company? I'm sorry. How many times has she berated me today? I look up fearfully, and there is the manager with angry eyes. I really wished I had someone more competent. Fix this, okay? Yes. She handed me the document that she claimed had many errors. As I left, I heard my coworkers snickering behind me. I've been with the company for 15 years. I was utterly bewildered when I was suddenly demoted, but I came to terms with it. My new manager, Claire, a woman younger than me, was especially harsh to certain employees. It seemed she often bullied or harassed certain employees. Moreover, she was extremely emotional. Having her as my manager, it couldn't be worse. Even when I examined the document she claimed had errors, I could hardly find any. Could it be a company-wide scheme to harass me? I sighed. Recently, due to economic downturns, my company has been encouraging early retirements. On top of that, they've been demoting employees they want to let go or harassing them to make them quit. They really played dirty. I sighed, placing the document on my desk. I looked at a photo of my beloved wife, Jennifer. Seeing her bright and radiant smile made me sigh even more. How did someone like me end up with her? My wife Jennifer, unlike me, who only finished high school, was a top-performing college graduate. She had a promising career trajectory. Yet, for some reason, she chose to resign from her job and followed me after I was demoted. I was getting tired of work anyway. I've been thinking of quitting for a while, so the timing was just right. Why not? Our new place is famous for tourism, and I think living a relaxed life in the countryside could be nice. Since moving here, I've been more proactive about doing chores at home, but Jennifer has taken the lead in handling many household duties even while working part-time at the supermarket. Moreover, even when I vent about my daily office troubles, she listens intently without showing any annoyance, nodding along with genuine concern. Sometimes she'd exclaim, "What's up with that?" and would side with me, condemning my overbearing Claire. When I was working full-time, I couldn't do much as a wife, but now I'll do everything I can. She was a thoughtful, kind-hearted wife I could be proud of and respect. But to be honest, I felt inferior to her. What a pity for her to have a husband like you. Suddenly becoming aware, I turned to look behind me. Claire, you even have a picture of her on your desk. You really adore your wife, huh? And rumors say she was more competent at her job than you. What a waste, making her quit and dragging her all the way to this rural place like Nebraska. With a sneering and sleazy smile, she stared at Jennifer's photo. Your wife really has it tough, doesn't she? Wouldn't it be better for her if you two divorced? Holding back my rage, I bit my lip. Maybe I have been a burden to my wife. But it's none of her business. If it were just about me, I could endure it. But I couldn't stand her talking about my wife. I didn't want to hear that. I felt the urge to let my anger take control. I wanted to shout back at her. Those thoughts consumed me. But if I did and ended up getting fired, it would only cause more trouble for Jennifer. Still, I didn't want to let her remarks go. I clenched my fists, taking a deep breath. Then, the office phone rang. I quickly picked it up. Yes, this is Bob. Hey, I'm at the front desk right now. Can I come over? Huh, Jennifer, why are you here? That call really caught me off guard. Jennifer, who was supposed to be at home, was on the line. You forgot your lunch at home today, right? So, I brought it for you. Yeah, I did forget it, but I texted you that I'd just buy something. I know. But since I was shopping near the office, I thought I'd drop it off. Oh, thanks, but I'm busy with work, so head home soon, okay? I know. With that, she hung up. As I put down the receiver, I locked eyes with Claire, who looked taken aback. "Your wife came all the way to the office, just to deliver lunch. That's unbelievable. I didn't expect her to either. Sigh, can't get a promotion, treats his wife like a maid. You're such a loser." Whispering those words, she walked away. I covered my ears for a moment, glaring at her retreating figure. "Hello, I'm Bob's wife." In no time, Jennifer entered the office. Seeing her, I was at a loss for words. She was in her usual attire, but it was clear she dressed up for the occasion, wearing a beautiful pastel-colored dress. Jennifer has a great figure. The dress perfectly accentuated her curves. Her makeup, subtle in its soft hues, perfectly accentuated Jennifer's attractive face. Isn't Bob's wife a beauty? She's got such great style. Really stands out. Whispering among themselves, some male employees shared their thoughts, but Jennifer shot them a smile and quickly made her way over to me. "What a beautiful wife you have." Hearing that voice and looking in that direction, the department head seemed taken aback as she stared at Jennifer. Seems like even she, as another woman, can't ignore Jennifer's beauty. "Here, you forgot your lunch. I packed all your favorites." She handed me the lunch with a cheerful smile. "Come on. I know she usually just tosses in last night's dinner leftovers. And she doesn't hesitate to add mushrooms, which I despise." I was wondering what got into her today, being overly pleasant. Then, "Ahem, excuse me, ma'am," Claire's voice rang out. She strutted over, crossing her arms in front of us with a sour look. "This kind of behavior is disruptive. We're trying to work here. Oh, I just brought lunch for my husband. Oh, and here, everyone can have some. I made them. Homemade." My wife handed her a beautifully wrapped package of cookies. The corners of Claire's mouth twitched upon hearing my wife's words. It's well known among the staff that Claire, besides having no taste buds, is also a terrible cook. One employee who was secretly dating her even broke up with her over it, which became quite the office gossip. And I didn't miss it. The mischievous glint in Jennifer's eyes as she smiled at the department head. She's intentionally doing something she knows will irk her. "Everyone, I also have homemade cookies for you. Thank you for always taking care of my husband." Swiftly turning on her heel, Jennifer began distributing cookies to the employees. But watching her, I felt my stress levels rising and began sweating. I was sure this was some sort of retaliation aimed at Claire. I'd always talked about Claire at home, but I never imagined Jennifer would come to retaliate. Enough of this. Do you think acting all sweet will get your husband treated any better here? Claire yelled at Jennifer, throwing the cookie she received from her on the floor. Some male employees watching frowned. "You might have gone a bit overboard there." One tried to calm her down, but her anger only grew. She stormed up to Jennifer and shouted, "This is a place of work. Don't hand out unknown snacks to the employees. How could you? This is so uncalled for." Tears welled up in Jennifer's eyes, though they seemed somewhat insincere. Jennifer is the kind who'd immediately snap back if she's yelled at for no good reason. "Hey, that's way out of line, Claire. That's just way over the top." The employees rushed to my wife's side, hurling criticism at Claire one after another. Bob's wife was just being considerate and handed out cookies to us. And after throwing them away, you yell at her. What's the problem here?" At that moment, a voice was heard from the lounge. It was the vice president. "What's going on here?" Seemed he'd caught wind of the commotion. Today, the vice president, who was visiting from the head office in New York, came over to see what the fuss was about. This is..." Claire was pale as a ghost. Then, the younger employees began to explain the situation in unison. "Vice President, it was awful." Claire yelled at Bob's wife. She was just delivering lunch to Bob and gave us cookies on the side. The male employees exchanged glances. That's what I'm saying. That's the issue. In response to the infuriated Claire, the vice president said, "What seems to be the problem here? Let's discuss this in the conference room, shall we?" "Yes, sir." With a weak nod, Claire followed the vice president to the conference room located beside the floor. "Serves her right." Standing beside me in astonishment, Jennifer muttered. Soon after, it was decided that Claire would be transferred to a different department. It was a demotion in all but name. It came to light that she had been bullying employees, like with the recent incident with Jennifer. As a result, she was to be punished. Even though it was clear she had been acting under higher orders, targeting undesirable employees like us. "Hey, why don't you quit that place?" After I went on about Claire, Jennifer smiled and said that. "But what would we do? You're working part-time, and if I quit, can we even make ends meet?" "We'll be fine. I've already spotted a new job opportunity. The company I used to work for is hiring mid-career employees. They have a branch in the next town over. When I mentioned you to my old colleague, they said they'd love to have you. Well, you'd start with an interview." "That's a relief. But didn't you say you left because you were exhausted from your previous job?" "I thought about our future. Balancing a career and raising a child seemed tough, right? So considering we want kids, I felt I couldn't stay there. I discussed it with my manager and left. When I came here, I wasn't pregnant yet, but lately, I've been feeling off, so I went to the doctor." "You're pregnant?" "Yes, 3 months in," Jennifer whispered with a shy smile. "I've been asked if I'd come back once our child is old enough for daycare. My old manager promised to create a more accommodating environment for working moms. She looked so happy talking about it." "So, just ditch your current job. A company that bullies its employees will go under eventually." I thought for a moment, but sometimes you need to take things in stride, and that's what I felt. "You're right. I'll ditch it. I'll give that interview a shot at your old company. It's not easy to decide to leave a company you've been with for a long time." But her casual use of the word ditch made it easier not to overthink things. Seeing her refreshing smile, I couldn't help but smile too. I hadn't imagined things turning around so favorably, especially with Jennifer's support. Moreover, our new family member is growing inside Jennifer. For our child's sake, I have to keep moving forward. I'll let my old manager know. "Thanks a bunch." I nodded firmly at Jennifer's words. I felt like I am reminded of her strength. From now on, I too was fired up to work harder and do my best for my family.